Hi everybody! So I was starting to do a bit of wedding DIY and I thought, do you know what, I should video this to show you what I'm making. So currently what I'm looking to do is during the wedding ceremony, after you've said your vows, you sit down at the table to sign the certificate, and I wanted some decorations for the table to make it look nicer, especially because photos will be taken during that moment as well. So I've already made like a centre arrangement to go on the table itself, but I wanted just something extra, something a little bit more. So what I wanted to make was like a topiary tree, but a smaller version, and I don't want it to be green or anything like that. So I did some research and I came up with that you can make these smaller topiary trees with coffee filters. Now these are just normal white coffee filters, and I'll show you what I've currently made so far. So I'm currently halfway through making. I know it looks a bit of a mess at the minute, but it will be tidied up once it's all done and I've filled in the gaps and stuff with some extras. But I thought I'd show you how I'm making it, just as a little YouTube tutorial video, if you like. So each one is made like this, and I will show you how I do it with the coffee filter. So you just take one coffee filter, super easy. I'm using a pen because I haven't got a pencil, so use anything like this, a stick, whatever, and just simply take it, put it into the center here, and then just fold it around the pen, pull the pen out, and then you're just going to twist. So give it a twist, and then you make like a little foot here. And then that's what the glue's going to go on when it goes on these. I've got a styrofoam ball that it's all been going on. So I've made a basket full at the moment, and I'm basically just starting. So I'm gluing it around here. Each little foot has got some glue on, and I've just glued, and I'm just working my way around. And then what I'll be doing is, as you can see, so for example here, there is a gap, so I'll then be filling in all the little gaps, making it look rounder and fuller. And then I was thinking, I'm gonna see how it looks. So it's going to have a wooden dowel which I'm going to attach in once I've finished with the coffee filters, just for ease. Basically, I'm going to do the coffee filters first, make sure I'm happy with it. Then I'm going to attach a wooden dowel in here, and then I'll be gluing the wooden dowel into, I'm thinking like a tea light holder or a small cup, which I will probably spray paint either white or silver to keep in with my wedding theme. And I was also contemplating wrapping teal ribbon around the wooden dowel as well, just to give it a little bit of colour so that it doesn't look just as white. And then I was thinking that I would like to use these as well around the house once the wedding's finished with, because I will have quite a lot of DIY projects that's just going to take up space. So the DIY projects that I'm making for the wedding, I want to use as well moving forward. So I'm just going to be filling the rest of this with the coffee filters that I have already folded, and then trying to make it into a rounder, fluffier shape. I thought I'd fast forward this little bit of me doing the gluing and sticking because it can get quite tedious, so I would definitely recommend putting something decent on the telly while you're working, but they are incredibly easy to make. Just to give you a bit of a closer up so that you can see how it's actually being glued on. So each of the little feet here is glued, and I'm working in a circular motion going around. I'm also just filling in any gaps that I can see as well as I'm gluing it around, and I will end up using one of the gaps that I have in between in order to stick the wooden dowel through, and I'll hot glue gun that in as well because this is just a styrofoam ball. And then I have my basket here full of all the coffee filters that I've been making and just working my way through. It's quite sturdy, quite robust. It can take a bit of a bashing, which is good because you have to have it turned upside down in order to keep adding more in, obviously with it being the ball shape. And another idea as well, which I'm still undecided about, is I've seen that you can use like a sponge brush type thing, and then just dab Mod Podge across all the edge and then just sprinkle glitter on, but I'm not I'm not convinced yet that I want to do that with it. So as you can see, some of them are a little bit longer than the others, but once they've all been rearranged and some bits are stuck in, so there's a gap here, it will all be evened out completely. And I will come back to you and show you once I've finished doing all of this. I do want to make 2 of them, one for either side of the table, so there will be 2 done in total. And I'm just going to work my way through it while I watch a bit of telly. I'm back again with another voiceover for you. So once I had made 2 of the Topiary tree balls with the coffee filters, I trimmed them down. I decided I wanted to add glitter. So I bought some white glitter, which had a shimmery effect. I'm using Mod Podge glue, and yes, that is a makeup brush that I'm using there. I did try and use a sponge brush, but it didn't work as well on top of the coffee filters. It absorbed quite a lot of the glue and it wasn't getting into all of the gaps. So using the makeup brush allowed me to be a little bit more detailed in how much of the glue I was applying, so I didn't waste too much glue either. And it just worked a lot better, to be honest. So I definitely recommend using a brush rather than a sponge. I did try and sprinkle the glitter on top of the areas that I had glued, but that was a disaster. As soon as I moved the ball or the glitter that had been caught inside, it fell out. So I used a tray with a piece of paper on the top to protect the tray from glue residue, and then I sprinkled the glitter on top of the paper and then just dabbed the areas into the glitter, and that worked just as well. The Mod Podge glue did dry quite quickly. However, I did leave these overnight to dry to make sure that they were completely dried and secured before I moved them. I may do an extra coat of Mod Podge just to secure the glitter in there, but the desired effect works absolutely amazing. I am absolutely over the moon with these and would definitely recommend adding glitter on. You could use any colour glitter as well, but they work really well and they're so pretty. This is a mock-up of what will be my table that I'll be signing the schedule on after the wedding ceremony. So as you can see, I decided to actually keep the balls as they are, but I will show you what I intended to do. So 1 wooden dowel wasn't actually enough, so I used 3 wooden dowels, hot glue gunned them together, and then wrapped them in the teal ribbon, which is the colour that I was going to go for. And then I got these simple flower pots from B&Q. I was going to spray paint these silver so that they looked a bit more metallic, and then I was going to use cement to stick that in there and then put one of the floral balls on the end of it so that they would have been more of a topiary tree. However, I decided just to go for something quite simple because I think they're quite effective as they are. So on the previous video I was putting glue to sparkle them, as you can see, and Harry has now woken up from his nap, so I'll make this short. So they've got quite a nice effective glitter effect on there. This is the floral piece that I made myself with paper flowers, which is going to go in the centre, and then some sparkly Mr. and Mrs. Wooden freestanding signs as well. I think I got those off eBay quite a while ago. So they've got a gorgeous like cream effect made purely from coffee filters, and then I used some Mod Podge and just put the glitter on the edges just to add a little bit of a sparkle, and I think as a whole it's quite effective, and I think I'm going to keep them like that. I think I prefer them that way. So we're now in the car just waiting to pick Poppy up from school. I hope you like the video. I know that I didn't end up actually using the balls as a topiary tree. That was initially my idea, but then once I started putting things together I realised that they would actually be quite tall, and I didn't want them to be tall just in case that they obstructed any photographs. And I really liked the effect of the balls. To me it kind of looks like pouring cream. So it's got the effect that I was after and that I looked, and I really love the glitter effect on it as well that I've done on all the edges. It was a white glitter that I used so that it blended in with the coffee filters and then added that little bit of extra sparkle that I was looking for. As a whole, I'm absolutely made up with them. Really like them. I like the effect that it has. I don't want too much on the table, but I know that it's going to be a focal point on a lot of the photographs as well after the ceremony, so I wanted it to look pretty. and obviously to match the colour themes. So if you did want to make it as a topiary tree, very simple, just do what I described with the 3 wooden dowels, hot glue gun them together, wrap ribbon around it. I did put some sequins at the end, but that wasn't necessary, mainly because they would end up being hidden anyway once they were in the pot. And then I used some flower. I was going to use some flower pots. Obviously I would have put something in the bottom to stop the cement from falling out the bottom, but they would have been stationary until it had set anyway. You can use cement, or you could have used a styrofoam cube or a bowl, or even like a florist block. I can't remember what they're called, the ones that you use to put to do flower arrangements. You could have used that as well to stick the dowel in with maybe some hot glue just to secure it, and then put something across the top, maybe some gems, some crystals, something like that, even some foliage, fake moss, anything like that would do as well, and would be really effective. It's very low-key cost wise, it wasn't expensive whatsoever. It's just, you can also, I used a styrofoam bowl, but you can use anything from like a children's plastic bowl. I would just suggest to maybe do a couple of covers on the bowl. Harry's driving the car. Do a couple covers of the bowl, like paper mache, but using the coffee filters, as you've got those to hand, and it would have all blended in as well and added a base. That's mainly just to cover up any bright colours that the plastic bowl might have. But there's so many ways that you can adapt the topiary trees using the coffee filters. You can make wreaths with them, decorations, anything. So I'm absolutely over the moon with what I've made and how they've turned out. I really hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe the video. It really helps my ego, and we will see you again soon.